In this video tutorial, we're going to be showing you how you can set up and run automation directly from Test Modeler. The goal of this session is that by the end you will have Test Modeler running your automation scenarios directly when any code is generated and published into Git using Test Modeler. This is so you can automatically run code when it's pushed to your framework, so you can get instant feedback on passes and failures and any run results, so you can perform error diagnosis directly in the modeler. The automation execution can only be set up on your private VIP server. The community server does not support this functionality. You can find details of setting up your own server on our knowledge base by following the following tutorial. You will need to install all the software you typically require to run your automation code via the command line, such as various development kits and associated tools. Let's edit our framework configuration to support execution. Now, in order to set this up in Test Modeler, you need to figure out how to run your framework from the command line. Here we can run the Java framework by using the Maven command, followed by specifying the test file we want to run. Here, if we hit enter, this is going to go off and run our test cases for us via the command line. And we'll see our test spin up and a new Chrome browser instance is executed with all of our test scenarios then ran. We'll exit this because we don't want it to run. But basically, we're going to take this command here and we're going to chop it up into something that Test Modeler can run whenever it needs to execute any automation. So we're going to come back to our configuration for our automation framework firstly, which is this tutorial framework. We'll hit edit here. We've got our languages set up, we've got our source control set up, but now it's time to specify how we're going to execute our automation. So we're going to enable the execute on publish. The first thing we need to give is the root location for our framework where we should enable the execution from. For Java, this will be where our pom.xml is present. For C#, this will be the root directory of the solution file, and it should follow that mantra for the automation framework you're integrating. So we'll select the root folder here for our framework and we'll save. We then need to give the execution command. This is going to be our Maven dependency. So we'll specify that. Next, we need to give our parameters. So we'll take our parameters here we were using to specify, but we need to make it a little bit more dynamic. Instead of having a static test name here, we're going to make this dynamic using one of Test Modeler's keywords. And that keyword is going to be file name as so. Every time we run a test case, this file name will be replaced with the actual file name of the test that we're about to execute. So we can now save this. Finally, we'll test it works. And we have pre-configured a model already using some automation and generated some paths. Now what we'll do is we'll go off and we'll select to generate automation, which is going to go away and generate and resolve any data dependencies that are needed. It will then generate the associated automation code for these 4 paths before pushing them into our Git environment and finally performing an execution. If we come over to our Git project here and do a refresh, we'll now see we've got a new commit that has been made 14 seconds ago. We'll see that code has been committed, which is our Git integration piece. And what we'll now see is happening is our tests are running on our system. We can run these in headless mode, but we've chosen to have the browser remain open as these are running. So our task is now complete here. We can download the full log and see any compilation messages that were included. So here we'll see the output of our Maven build and the test cases that were run, which is very useful for debugging purposes. We can also close this now and do a refresh on the test suite, and we'll see our run results have been synchronized up. And we've also got some links here to let us know where these have been pushed inside our Git repository. If we look at the results, what we'll see is that this test has been integrated with the modeler reporting, and I can open these up and see the test steps along with any screenshots captured along the way. Thanks for watching this video. Any questions, please email james.walker@curiosity.software.